What is up, everybody? We are back in the lab. We're here with Rosie Paulsen, and she's going to talk a little bit about what she does and how she's impacting the community. But first, we want to thank our sponsor, Tampa Club, Tampa's premier dining and business club that sits way on top of the Tampa Bay area. Also, we want to thank our sponsor, Merchant Side Marketing Group, because they've done a great job with our website, and they are continuously helping our marketing, and they do an amazing job. So, Rosie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, good morning, buenos dias. Thank you so much for inviting me to this beautiful place. You find my little hiding spot. The Tampa Club, to me, is the best kept secret in Tampa Bay, because a lot of people don't understand that we sit in the tallest building of Tampa, which is the 42nd floor of the Bank of America as of right now, because we're in the project of building a taller building. But if you ever want to see the views of what Tampa looks like from the sky, this is the place to be.
I agree.
Yeah, I've been living in Tampa for about 30 years. I'm originally from Ecuador. I came here when I was 17, turned 18 here, and ever since, Tampa has started growing and growing. But the last 8 years, it has become just this tremendous mecca of businesses, and especially the IT world. So it's been a great experience to grow up with Tampa. And although I might not consider myself, I'm not a born Tampeñan or Tampeño, that's what they say in Spanish. I do consider myself Tampeñan because I've been living here for 30 years, longer than I ever lived in my country.
Wow. So when you moved here, there wasn't much going on, right? Did you live literally in the Tampa area, like in the city portion, or on the outskirts?
No, in the outskirts. I actually live by MacDill Air Force Base. My parents and I used to go to Picnic Island a lot. Now it's kind of like a little rinky-dinky place, but back then when we were in, that was the closest beach, and I lived in Quito, so Quito was in the mountains, so the beach was kind of like a treat. So for us moving to Tampa, it was just nice because now we can be at the beach all the time.
Right.
So I remember Church's chicken was the big deal here.
It's delicious chicken.
It was delicious, and it was very affordable for a family of 5. So we'll pick up that on the way to the beach, and we spend the weekends over there. It was just amazing. But yes, I tell to people this is so funny, and hopefully I can be as proper as I can on this one. But you were not able to walk down Florida Avenue, because if you were actually walking down Florida Avenue, if you were a boy, you were selling crack. If you were a girl, you were prostituting yourself. And nowadays, you see Hall of Franklin down there.
Oh, yeah.
You see all these wonderful churches and all this, amateur works. I mean, people will not get caught dead in there because it was so bad. And Ybor City, after 5, you couldn't be there because you probably were going to get mugged or murdered. But we have come a long way, and that is what I'm so proud about Tampa, and especially what we're doing for small businesses in the community. And I think that's where my passion has been it has grown even bigger, because the communities, 98% of the economy of the city of Tampa is run by small businesses.
Yes, I agree.
So if we help a small business owners succeed, we all winning. And how do you be successful in this community? By building long-lasting relationships. And that's what I teach my friends in my business and people that follow me around and in my workshops. Is this about who opens that door for you? How do you nurture that relationship without going, I'm going to sell something to this person? We all have something that we want to sell. It might not be a product. It might be a service. It might be you going to church somewhere. You're always selling something. But at the end of the day, it's who you sell it to, who is your ideal client, and how you build that long-lasting relationship and how you attract them to you. Because it's not like sales before where you had to, it doesn't matter, you will trample over people to make a sale. It's now about relationship building. And
I agree with you. And so I've been here for, I'm thinking maybe 15 to 16 years. Mm-hmm. And so, well, in Florida, but we've been in the Tampa area for 13 years or so. And when I started my business, I was terrified.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I went to the Chamber of Commerce, and I was like, here, make my business for me.
Yeah.
But what I did is I made some wonderful friends and built lifelong relationships. And what I love about this area is no matter what business you start, your community supports you first.
Yes, yes,
Big businesses probably struggle a little more
yes.
without the backing, the financial backing. And I think that I know it was number 2, but I think now Tampa is number 3 in the most common places that millennials move to start businesses in the country, behind Silicon Valley and Austin, Texas.
Yeah,
And so I'm very proud of that fact. And I'm from New York City.
right.
And so, I mean, if you have a business in New York City, you probably invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a beat up building, shack, storefront,
Yes.
you know, and it's just with bars on the windows.
Right, right, right.
But here, I love it because obviously the weather's great and people are just more likely to support you when they know you.
Yes.
And so building relationships is very important, especially if you're renting.
Yes.
Build that relationship with your landlord.
Yes, 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 yes. And I'm telling you, here in Tampa, there's these people that they genuinely want to help you. You just need to find those because there's also those that they want to take advantage of you. But if you stayed in here with your passion and stay consistency, so I call it persistency, consistency, and passion, right? That's what makes a successful business because there's sometimes that you're ready to give up. You're ready to say, oh my God, who is going to buy this or do this for me? But that passion is what gets you up in the morning, and people are looking and people are watching you. And the moment that you least expect it, somebody says, "You encourage me, you empower me," and that's why I want to support you. So there is a big, big support in that community if you just stick to what you are meant to do. I tell also my business owners that if they find what their purpose is, their passion, what they were meant to, what they were created to be. And a lot of people just think that is for life, in your personal life, but that's also in your business. So the person that has the same beliefs and the same feelings that you have or the same passions that you have, they are going to be gravitated to you right away. And it happens that, I don't know about you, but in a networking event, those people turn to me right away. There's the other people that I rub the wrong way and they'll walk away, and it's okay. Because just because you have a room of 50 people, those are not 50 of your clients. Out of those 50, you might get 2 or 3. But those 2 or 3 building relationships, they might not even be the person that buy it from you. They might know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And that's, I think, what makes me so successful, and everybody knows me here with the Where is Rosie, is because I do those business connections, and don't ask me how, but my talent is that I remember what is important to you, and I connect you with somebody else that has the same feeling, passion, or need. And then I just make the connection, and then business happens from there. They're not sometimes quantifiable with money, but down the road, you can see the connection, how it produced money. But at that moment, that introduction is priceless.
I see. So tell us more about this business that you have of connecting people, right? Because you do multiple things.
Yeah.
You have media, you have the show that you have, and then you have the Medicare thing. So let's start with the networking portion and how you do that and what that looks like.
So I create platforms for people to do networking opportunities. So my passion is creating networking opportunities. That's one of my taglines. So how do I do that? I create it by platforms, right? Social media platforms, TV platforms. The Cafecito with Rosie is actually a networking event where people come, and it's about 20 to 25 people. You can't do more than that because then you don't build quality relations. And in that, you have a business that is presenting, they're hosting the Cafecito with Rosie. And Cafecito in Spanish means a small coffee, right? A small size coffee. What do they call it in Starbucks? Grande? Grande, yeah, which makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah, a grande is small.
Yeah, so that's Cafecito with Rosie. So everybody's having a coffee because really I hold them in the morning. Because if I'm trying to target business owners, the 7:30 to 9 is a very good hour because then after that they go to work. right? So that's what they call the cafecito. So they host the business. They come in. We do a 30-second infomercial. I kind of connect because the people that follow me, I know who they are. So I kind of connect them with each other at that moment. The business does their 15-minute presentations. There's questions that they need to answer if they have to, and then it's over and everybody goes to their business. That is how the cafecito started. It's kind of what the chambers does. But the reality I feel is that the chambers sometimes they get a little too big. So by having a small room of people, you build more relationships. So I create those platforms. So that's a live platform, and then it became Cafecito with Rosie on air, which it was my radio show. Then it came Cafecito with Rosie on TV, which it was aired in Telemundo, and then all that is going to Cafecito with Rosie on YouTube.
Okay.
So
Are those still on the television and radio?
the Telemundo we're going, I believe, in second two right now. We did the first season, and it was 4 shows. And the show features business owners on the community, what they do, who they are, and how they help people. So right now we are in that transition and seeing what is going to happen next. But yes, I mean, it's still in the YouTube and all the channels in there. But it was a weekly show. That proved to be a little bit too much. So I believe we're going to probably go to 2 times a month.
Okay.
So we're working on that right now.
Sure, those learning curves.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's great. So when you say networking basically, and it's almost like when you mention the chamber, there are like leads groups where people come in, they do their elevator pitch, tell people what they do, and then they connect. They say, hey, if you do, air conditioning, I know a person, and
Right.
different things like that. Do you have the same people meet each time?
No, it's so the people that follow me, they're different. So my target market, I realized too, is people new into the area where they don't know anybody. And because Tampa is so big into networking, there's so many groups that you can attend, that you can have morning breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever, doing networking events. But
Sure.
then who do you know which ones are those groups that you should go to? So pretty much mine, I do have a follower that come back, but the reality is that they're new into the area, but I connect them to the ones that they're established here. So the established people, they always want to come to my events, but sometimes they can't, so they take turns. So it's not the same people that come to my events, because the reality is you need to have a new set of bodies when you come into this 20 connections per
Sure.
month or per quarter, whatever the cafecito presents itself. The other part of this is very important, because if it's your sphere of influence, we will target those. So for example, I have a friend of mine who is an M&A, so manager and acquisitions, right? For them, bankers are good people, connections,
Accountants.
CPAs. So in my cafecito with Rosie, that's the target that I'm going to do, because I know who's a CPA, I know who's an accountant. So it's just it's I can just tell you that it's something that it has worked for me, and I have tried it repeatedly, and it makes me what I am today and what I'm successful. So I just share that knowledge. But the most important thing is a lot of people also think that networking is they don't think it's a science. They think it's something that just you can just go and happen. But it does have a madness. It does have a what do they call it?
A method to the madness.
Exactly. You have to do certain things. You have to go with a goal, because you can go into a room, have 50 people, collect 50 business cards, but that's not the 50 people that you want to target, right?
Right.
So it's about the one-to-one follow-up. It's about the clear message that you're producing. It's about the business card. Like I said, I tell people, sometimes your business cards will not have your email. Well, how do you want people to contact you? The first thing you need to have in your business card is your email. I teach that. We were talking about the image on your business card. Some people don't like to have their picture in there, but guess how people connect? We are visual people. So the first time we look at is your picture in that business card. That's especially in my community, they say, oh, he's my friend. You probably will never know the guy, but because he has a picture of his business card, he's my friend. So I teach people to update your business, your headshot every 6 months.
And to put it on the business card?
And to put in the business cards. Yes, yes, yes. Because, and the other part is like, for example, your marketing collateral, right? So we create flyers that we pass things around, right? And it tells you what to do. Well, you go to Canva or whoever and you purchase those pictures, right? But how impactful it is that you're doing what your passion is with somebody and it's a picture of you in your marketing collateral. That
Yeah.
is priceless.
That makes sense.
Right? So yeah, those are the things. It's just you have to find out. Not every business is the same. But I kind of go and do those little tips of things that have worked for me and worked for other of my friends, and then share it with the community, because at the end of the day, if they're successful, we are all successful.
Agreed. So it seems like there's a combination of relationship building and connecting and some coaching. And so is there a cost for that?
For example, when they come to the business, the Cafecito with Rosie, if you're attending.
Let me ask you this. How do they get invited to that?
Just follow me in my social media on my Instagrams, and then you'll see all my events are there. You can go to my website, www.rosiepaulsen.com. All my events are there. You can just Eventbrite. For some reason, my events in Eventbrite, they're in the top. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's breakfast and people look for breakfast events and they come out, because I get people from Eventbrite all the time.
It's probably popularity.
It's popularity. I do believe that. So the Cafecito with Rosie, if you host it, then it has a cost. But to attend it, you don't. Now, if you go to one of my mastermind groups, which it happens later, that's the second step, then you have a cost in that mastermind group, but it's not a membership cost. If you want to attend the mastermind group, fine. That's 2 hours with me and 10 other people. We have a problem we all share, and we come out with 10 different solutions from that problem. Then once a quarter, I have a workshop, and the workshop kind of is divided in two because it has become very rich on what to do, and it's the networking 101 to 401. It's in those two workshops, you learn all the tips about networking with a purpose. And then after that, if you realize, okay, I do want Rosie all by myself, then we have some consulting services that we can do.
I see.
And
Patrick and I, right now I'm doing it, and Patrick is coming alongside producing our show. But I facilitate mastermind groups.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a membership portion where we meet twice a month, and we use the hot seat and we do all of those things similar to the process of what Karen Greenstreet does. So yeah, we kind of do some of that. I stay away from coaching.
Right.
It's not my thing. If I'm gonna do consulting, I'll do it for free because I enjoy what I do, and I have to share the knowledge that I have. But I think that what you're doing is great. I like the meetups, which is the networking portion, and you host it. So give us kind of a little bit of a rundown of what one of those networking events would look like.
So usually they have a location like the Tampa Club. I love it there. I know sometimes the parking is a little bit
Well, you
hard,
can park
but
in the lot.
exactly.
If you're not parking in the lot, you're doing it wrong, I
The
guess.
first time at the Tampa Club is a little bit stressful, but once you come back here, the views just make it all go away.
Yeah, we're plugging the Tampa Club a lot today.
Yes. Well, and so you come in. I tell people the first half an hour is the gold mine, because everybody's arriving. There's nothing going on at that moment. So that's where you really get to know everybody, and you do the exchange of the business cards. So that's usually from 7:30 to 8. I'm very sharp. I like a drill sergeant, and I start at 8. At 8, I do good morning, everybody. Welcome for being here. And then we do the 30-second infomercials for everybody. Then we do the presentation of the business that is hosting the event. And they have about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how the crowd is going and how many questions. And then the questions come back about what the businesses offer. And usually I have a tip of a connection. I always say in what has happened to you this week that is important, related to whatever is happening in that topic. So for example, one time for Mother's Day, I was asking, tell me something about your mom. And it's so funny because I remember those days. And it's really all for my knowledge that for that connection building. So then we wrap it up. And then if you want to, people can stay. But most of the time, people already have done the exchange. They know who they want to meet. And then the tip for the closing is make sure you get a one-to-one. So when they leave, I actually make sure that people has one business card that they're going to do a follow-up with and do that one-to-one connection. And that's pretty much it. Is kind of like any other networking group, but the difference is that the people that come to my events, they have that idea of giving back and helping. So it's not like any other group, like I mentioned. It's just it has my flair, my energy, and the following that I have created, which is my motto: pure, positive, inspiring ideas. And those are the people that follow me.
Great. So it's more likely that, in my opinion, that it's your personality, your character, your pizzazz, whatever you call it. It's your energy that people want to be around you and they're drawn to you.
Yeah.
So there's another networking group, the Tampa Business Club, right? And
Roberto
does a great
yeah.
job with that.
Yes.
So is that similar? Because there is less structure.
Right. So Roberto, and love you, Papito Lindo. You are the king of Tampa Bay. We love you. Roberto's, if you hear his story, why is Roberto create his networkings in the afternoon and he calls them social networks? Because Roberto used to hang out at the clubs a lot because he is a type A personality. We love and feed on people's energy. So usually going to the clubs was how we got our fix. But what happens when you go to the club again? Well, first of all, you're getting old. You can't be up anymore.
Wait,
you can't drink. No. Well, to me, I guess. But then you drink a lot, so you might get in trouble. So what does Roberto do now? He calls all his buddies that owns businesses, because we do have a portion of you making those networking connections, and we all hang out and have a good time. But at the end of the day, it's a social network. And
Sure.
and who's the showman? I always tell people this. We all showmen. We all show people. So this is the Roberto show. And when we go to Roberto is the one that is holding the spotlight, if we call it. But when you come to the Rosie show, it's the Rosie show. It's like anything. But I do love what he does, because what is Roberto's gift? He's pulling 50 to 100 people to a place. And you see those pictures at 720 when he holds his events. And it's all different people. And everybody knows about the Tampa Club. So he's a marketing guru when it comes to that. However, the people that go there might need a little bit more structure for later. And those might be the people that you want to come to my events, because in my events, it is very structured. And we do have an agenda, and we do have a purpose, and we do have an outcome for that.
I think both have their place.
Oh, yes,
and
yes,
so we
yes.
launched our podcast at one of his events. We sponsored it. It was one of the rooftops in the summer,
Yes.
so maybe that wasn't the best idea we've had.
Yes.
But I think that both have their places. And
Yes.
I'm with Brandon's chamber, and so I've been a member there for 11 years or so, and I sit on their board. And so there's definitely agenda and structure when
Yes.
it comes to that. Mostly relationship building. A lot of times I don't bring a business card necessarily, or if I do, I leave information off of it on purpose.
Right.
This is just me, my style, the
Right.
things I do. I try not to hand out my business cards to become other people's customers.
Right.
And that's very common. Financial advisors, for an example, you know, they're like, "Hey, what do you do?" And they get to know what you do a little bit, and then they ask you for a card, and now they're trying to treat you as a
Yes.
customer. That's almost like walking into a place, just meeting a person, and like, "Hi, I'm Scott. I think you're amazing. Would you like to get married?"
Yeah.
You know, I can't give you all of my finances
Right.
right away. I can't just do that because you met me and have my business card. And so I think both have their place.
Yes.
And I enjoy attending both types and styles.
Yes. Listen, Tampa is, well, and not only Tampa, and that's where I come with my patriotism for America. America is the land of the American dream. If you have a product or if you have a service and there's the demand for it, people will pay for it. And anybody and everybody can create something and is going to be successful. So then Roberto has his followers, I have my followers, you have your followers. That's what social media is so important. The whole idea of the Where is Rosie was birthed because I thought, how come a business tool is going to cost me zero money if I make it? I said, no, this is I'm going to prove everybody wrong because it does not work. But now you see that Where is Rosie? Within 2 months, I was able to test this. Within 2 months that I started posting on my social media platforms, where's Rosie? Where's Rosie? As a joke. In 2 months, people were coming to me, I found Rosie. And that's what my hashtag is now.
Oh, you mean like Carmen Santiago?
Yeah, exactly. So I think, because what happens is that I used to, like, everybody knew that I go to events. They think I'm in every single event, which, again, people, is not true. But so they will call me in the morning and say, where are you going to be today, Rosie? Where are you going to be today, Rosie? So I created, hey, where is Rosie? And that's how the whole thing, because this is not going to work. I said to myself, it's not going to work. And like I said, within 2 months, where's Rosie? Oh my God, I found Rosie. And that's when I started doing the selfie and the hashtag I found Rosie. Instagram was new at that time, big. So my hashtag in Instagram is number one. But in Twitter, I found
number one hashtag.
Yeah, like it's my tag. It has my name. So if you're doing Instagram a hashtag I found Rosie, all my stuff is in there, right? But Twitter was taking, and I'm like, oh man. So whoever that Rosie was, well, guess what? I started doing Twitter. I found Rosie too. And I checked on my Twitter the other day, and when you hashtag I found Rosie, all my stuff is there. So you know how in Twitter things go down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you in the hashtag, everything that was from that I found Rosie person that was there before is way buried at the bottom, because anytime you put I found Rosie, my stuff goes out there.
So you engaged more, and then it actually brought you to the top.
Yeah, and I do believe that my business has been so successful is because of my social media presence.
Now, I think I have a good takeaway from that, because what I believe is that's a great business tip. People the more you engage, the more followers, the more algorithms will pick you up. And you're a classic example that someone else had that Twitter handle or hashtag, and you continue to engage more, and you actually took that spot. Not from them, but you positioned yourself there.
Exactly.
And so I don't engage much in social media, just Facebook mostly.
Hold on, I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
That's the beauty of what we're doing. We don't have to cut to commercial to answer our phone or hang up. But I think that when you're engaging more, you create your own popularity.
Yes.
So you don't need to try to be popular. Just continue doing what you're doing day in, day out, and then people will begin to recognize you. So I think that's a great takeaway and business tip for entrepreneurs especially.
And one of the things that I tell people, and I teach this, is the transparency. It's transparency, because in your social media, you can create this persona, and it's going to bring you business. But the moment that people know you personally and you're not that person in social media, they feel betrayed. And, as a business owner, first impressions are the most important. So if the first impression for you of me is that I betray you, you're not going to be doing business with me.
And
so
I will tell everybody not to do business
So
with
I
you.
had to be as transparent as possible. That's why sometimes I laugh, because people tell me, Rosie, when are you going to run for office? Well, I can't, because my whole life is in social media, and they will pull up anything and everything they can.
Well, times are different. Look who's running things now and what they have in their history.
Yes. So
it's not the same.
And that's the part of what I tell people, be in the pure positive inspiring idea helps me a lot, because if it's not pure, if it's not positive, it's not inspiring, I'm not going to post it on my social media. And there's times that I want to, I get so upset, my emotions are going haywire. My poor husband is running away like, hello, let me get away from her. And he says, usually he says, it's so funny, that my level, if I start speaking Spanish and increasing my voice, then he knows that something's happening. So if I don't post things that they're not edifying or positive, because that's my motto. So that helps me keep in check, and I use that for my business and I use that for my life, because if not, I can find a lot of things, a lot of stuff where people believe that I'm negative, and it's not. I'm realistic when it comes to business. You either have a business that produces money, or you have a hobby that you have a passion for, and it's okay. Both ways are okay. Just don't call it business when it's not making money, because then it's not making money. It's not a business.
Agreed.
Business is for making money. Now, you can have a hobby, and by all means, a lot of people love that, but if it's not making money, it's not a business.
Well, things have changed because you used to be told, if you have this passion for a thing, money will come, and you should do what you have passion for. I think it's a little bit inverted now, because I think what's more popular is if you do something that you're very good at, you can develop a passion for it. It used to be where just do what you love and then the money will come. Well, listen, I love sitting on the sofa just eating ice cream, but that doesn't mean the money's going to come.
Right.
So you have to do more of that, and you have to be good at it.
Right.
And you have to be different. Right. And so a lot of times I think your business may not be able to be successful if you don't have that support system.
Yes.
Like a mentor.
Yes.
Do you have a mentor?
I have more than mentors, and I have older mentors and I have younger mentors. Have you thought about that? Because, I'm not a millennium. And so sometimes I kind of look at things different way, and I'm like, why you do that way? And so I heard somebody says, go get a mentor, a millennium, and you'll see why they do things that way.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it just opened my eyes to stuff. So I'm going to give a shout out to my millennium mentor, Tony Savaggio. He is just an amazing young man that is doing wonderful for Tampa. And it's not only locally, he's doing internationally, giving back with his company called eSmart. So he recycles computers. And he's changing the world, starting here in Tampa. So there's a lot of things that I learned from him. And then my sister from another mother, my other mentor, Brenda Casado, she really was the person that brought me under her wing and taught me everything that I know pretty much, without being fearless that I was going to at one point be greater than her. Because she has her specialty and I have my specialty, and I learned from the beginning. We were just collaborating. It was never a competition. So that is amazing about teaching and giving back. Now, the way I give back also to my community, and I'm not sure if you read that on my profile, but I'm part of the Commission on the Status of Women. So I'm a commissioner that is an appointed position. So I didn't have to run for office. I didn't have to ask for money. I didn't have to ask for people for vote, because there are positions in the communities that they're appointed, and your voice is being represented there.
Who appointed you to that position?
President Bill Galvano. He's the president of the Senate of Florida. And it's a Florida state position. And the commission, what we really focus on is the issues that affect women in the area. And when it says women, it includes their children, their family, their husband, everybody. But the commission is for things that affect women. So recently, in 2020, there's going to be the 100th year of the right to vote. So the ladies are doing the Voices of Florida Women town halls, where we go there with a facilitator, and we find what is affecting that community at that moment, and then we share it. We're going to share that with the state, and we actually got hold that even the administration is going to be wanting to see those videos and the results of that impact that we're going to be doing, of just going out there and talking to the community.
That's great.
Yeah.
So a little bit behind the scenes, we talked about another thing where you claim that your bread is buttered, right? And so that's Medicare.
Yes.
So open that up a little bit, unpack that.
Yes. So Medicare, so when I started my business back in the day, I used to do customer service for American Express on the phone for a long time. That was
credit
about
card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was business travel, pretty much. Didn't speak Spanish or anything, but anyway, I worked for them for about 10 years, and I had a shift of careers. And at that time, I really, my walk with the Lord became very, very strong. And I asked the Lord, hey, give me a job at this time. Please, I want it to be this thing. I don't want to sell. I want to help out people. I want to speak Spanish, and I want to share my story, your story. And And believe it or not, I got 3 out of 4 because I got a job with Humana Healthcare at that time, which it was is one of the number one Medicare Advantage companies in the area. Never sold anything in my life, never had a policy of insurance in my life, but I had the passion of understanding that I can make a difference on the senior community. And what I do is I started with Humana first for about 4 years, then I opened my own brokerage firm where I not only represent Humana anymore, I represent all the companies out there. So my job is to sit down with the individuals, see what their needs are, what they expect, what the reality is, and then break it down for them where they understand it. And that's why I call it Medicare Simplify, because my job is almost, again, 2004 to 19, 15 years of experience on only doing Medicare is what I bring to the table when you sit down with me. And then my services are paid by the insurance company that we select. So I call myself a matchmaker of Medicare, because once you marry with the right policy, you stay married forever, and you're still going to be my client, and I get paid every month for you to be in my policy. And just a sweet way of making a change in the community. But I don't do it for the money. I'm doing it because I really want to help, and I want them to be at peace on their Medicare decisions.
So this is for like silver sneakers, elderly people?
Yes, people, well, so, Medicare, you get it if you are disabled for 24 months, and if your 25th month, you can get Medicare too. So not only people that are retiring at the age 65, but people with disabilities also. But yeah, that's Medicare, the red, white, and blue, and that's the government. And it's not a government help, and that's very key. You and I contribute to it from our FICA taxes when we pay our taxes from our companies, right? When we get a paycheck, you pay those FICA taxes. Even if you are a small business owner and you pay yourself, you pay those FICA taxes. That goes towards your Medicare. So at age 65, you get that. But you have contributed. Nobody has given it to you. You contribute that.
Right, so it's not a handout.
Yeah, it's not a handout. They wanting to make it sound like it's a handout. But no, it is something that we all contribute.
Gotcha. So how do you manage all of these different things and family life? Your husband's sitting over here,
yeah,
very patient, quiet.
And I have to apologize again. I never recognize my husband because he's just a wonderful, loving man that loves me where I stand, which is always forgetting to recognize that he is my rock. Without him, I would not be able to be here and do all the things that I do. But believe it or not, the first thing I learned is to say no.
Say no to other people.
Oh, say no to a lot of things. Because I would like to save the world, but I'm not Jesus, So I can't save everybody. I have my life. So I learned, and that was very freeing to me because I was a people pleaser. So if you didn't like me, it made me uncomfortable. So by saying no, it gave me more opportunity to put an impact on what I was making. And I have a kind of like a two-year commitment kind of deal. If after 2 years I'm in a position and after 2 years I'm not impactful anymore, so I moved to something else. So I have a lot of nonprofits that I kind of help out, and of course they all want to reach me, but I stay with local nonprofits that makes the difference in the community. But I only stay for about 2 years because the reality is I don't want to sit in those positions and make those positions be my identity, if you call it. Some of those some of those positions are being held for people that have been there forever, and nothing is getting done. So,
you need fresh eyes sometimes.
Oh, yes. And to me, I believe that's my intuition. I'm a very intuitive person. Like I can come into a place and see, is it going to make it or not going to make it? A foundation, what is the succession plan? Is this going to, if this person that is in charge right now dies tomorrow, is this association or this nonprofit going to make it or not? I'm very good about that. Sometimes people think I'm not positive enough. No, I'm just realistic.
What people think, it doesn't matter, right?
And it's because it's my time that I'm going to give. It's my time, talent, money that I'm going to be given to this nonprofit. So it's going to have to be worth my time. If I'm going to give you 2 years for then later not to be in existence, it's not going to make any sense. Because, again, I have to take there's only 24 hours of the day, right?
Right.
So you have to take time on a schedule. And I'm a crazy scheduler person. My Google Calendar is booked for the whole year. Like usually my last 2 weeks of December, I had already made the commitments for what I'm going to be helping out next year. All that goes in my calendar at that moment. So a lot of people says, can you come to this? No. Can you do this? No. And sometimes I can if it's not on the calendar, if I have an open thing on the calendar or not. But
So
I'm very
now
good.
we feel honored that you found the time to come here and sit and talk with us.
Well, we've connected through Facebook for Tampa Business Club.
Right,
And then,
right.
business, you were talking about business, and that's my passion. So, yes, I made the time to come for this because I do believe that this is going to help somebody.
That's the point. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And some people may say it's a hobby, like you were saying, it's not a business yet. But I think that what we're doing is we're providing quality content for people, and it's free.
Yes.
And so we're offering value right away without selling anything. And we have some other people that support us, like the Tampa Club.
Yes.
They believe in what we're doing, and they're allowing us to be here, and they're sponsoring us. And then, we have the Merchant Side Marketing Group, which also believes in what we're doing. And there are others. We're just looking to grow a little bit. But most importantly, we're sharing content.
Yes.
That person that may come across a situation where they're on the fence about something, or they needed to hear that today.
Yes.
And so that's what our whole focus is right now. Eventually we'll be making, hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this. That's the plan anyway.
Right.
Have you ever taken the DISC assessment, the
Oh,
personality test?
yes. And we
so
just did it again for
I
our
couldn't
church.
imagine that you're not a high I.
Oh, no, actually, yes, I am a high I and ID. So
Okay.
that's and my husband is a CS, honey? SC. So we
Oh.
are like a perfect square.
Oh, it's like a puzzle piece.
You're like a puzzle piece, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm a high I, and D is my second trait. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So in your, I want to say spare time, but that sounds like it doesn't exist. So do you read any books?
I actually do a lot of the audibles. I
Okay.
love audibles. But I'm glad you brought that up because I can recommend a book that changed my life. It's about 4 hours in Audible. It's called The Go-Giver. Go-Giver. And
So
I
that's
can't
in
remember.
my queue, The
Yes.
Go-Giver.
That book changed my life. I have read some other books,
Sure.
but to me, that book changed my life because it put in perspective what I do as being, oh my God, it's really because it is a science to the madness, but it is you giving back. So if you have not read that book, read it in like 4 hours. But The E-Myth was another one that I read. Another one that also is The Compound Effect. I have read that one too in Audible. And I can't wait, but my really good friend, Lejuan James, and I call him my friend just because I see him and I follow him on Facebook. He just did his first book called mostly Hispanic or something. I can't believe it. I had to buy it in Audible. But he talks about growing up in this country being Hispanic. So it's like outside your home you have a culture, but inside your home you have another culture that it just makes no sense, and your friends might think that you're crazy. So he just comes and talks about this thing. So it's very connected, but that has nothing to do with business. It's just but it's who it was. I thought I was crazy growing up in here and having two different cultures. But he put it in a book now, and it's just mostly Hispanic is the name of the book. It's really good.
Well, I think it does have something to do with business, right? Because when you were working with Humana and you were helping different people, you said, I wanted to be able to speak Spanish and help people. And that's a lot of the Hispanic culture is exactly that.
Yes.
They share their love by cooking, or if you come to someone's house and you don't eat,
Oh
you're
yeah!
offending
Oh
them.
yes!
And-
It's funny because the first BNI that I attended, of course, I didn't know it was called networking, and it's all these 45 people in this room that gives everybody's business, and I say, oh my God, I feel at home. Like that's my family. That's what we do. If you come to a Hispanic community and you get a family and you help that family, we all spread the word that you help that family. So you're the person that everybody's gonna go to help somebody. So to me, that's what networking is all about. I just didn't have a name for it in our culture, but here it's called networking.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what Hispanics do.
I think it's called networking based on like the computers that were from the 70s or 80s, I guess.
Yes, the relationship building for me. But I'll leave you with that tip because one of the biggest needs that I have experienced here in Tampa, which I still think we have a great opportunity to meet, is when our business owners, our small business owners, are experiencing that rapid growth to go from small to medium-sized business. There is not particular help here on how to help them with that transition. First of all, they're not prepared. They don't have a succession plan. They don't have an exit plan. And now they're trying to put out fires because they're having this rapid growth from all the help that they gotten it from becoming, first of all, a business and then marketing, a great marketing plan. But sometimes they don't know how to hire, for example, if they need an assistant. Or like you, like if Patrick will not be here, you will not be able to have your podcast, right?
Right, well, he's not the assistant, but he's the brains.
He's the brains. But you know what I'm
brains.
saying? It's about collaboration. You guys collaborating with each other. Some of our business owners, they're in this like moment that they're like deers in a headlight, right? Okay, I'm growing. Its demand is much, but I can't make it. I can't make it. So I'm just busy putting out fires.
Or creating fires.
So my husband is giving me the I gotta go kind of deal. But let's talk about that next time because I really believe that is a big opportunity for Tampa.
Okay. Before you go, I want you to tell everyone the best piece of advice you would give to a young woman right now looking to start her business.
When you go into a place, ask for what you want. Bluntly go and ask for what you want. Do not think that you are not capable and you don't have the skills. Just get out of yourself and say, I want this, and shut up.
I love that.
Yes.
And so tell everyone how they can find you, where you're at, where's Rosie.
Yes, so all my platforms are under Rosie Paulsen. My website is rosiepaulsen.com.
Spell that.
ROSIEPAULSEN.com.
Okay.
And then my phone number, 813-909-6965, 813-909-6965.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Rosie Paulsen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Bobby, can we do a picture? Yes. Oh, I was going to just, hey, we think alike. Because I was just telling you, let's do a picture.